Well, a big hello to everyone. My name is Mairead McGuinness. I'm First Vice President of the European Parliament and I'm a UCD graduate. It's a long time ago, 1980 to be precise, and I studied agricultural science specialising in economics. And I have to say it has stood me really well. I was just reflecting before doing this video on the good times in UCD. There were tough times as well, but all the good times, and of meeting so many people and of staying connected to many of them over the years. Funnily enough, when I was your age, I was actually interested in journalism, but I was also interested in agriculture and I came from a farm. So I studied agriculture, as I said, and when I was graduating, I was lucky enough that RTE were looking for trainee radio producers. So myself and a colleague, we went across to RTE from UCD, we trained as radio producers. He got offered a job and I didn't because things were difficult in RTE. So what did I do? I didn't walk away. I asked RTE, was there work? I fought for a contract and I ended up working in television in RTE. I worked with as a researcher with The Late Late Show. I worked with Gay Byrne. I worked with many other people as well. I also worked on the original farming programme Landmark, and then I was subsequently going to move on many years later to the still running RTE programme Ear to the Ground. And you know, I have 4 children. The twins are almost 27 and I was pregnant with them when Ear to the Ground started. So it has really run really well as a programme, and I'm very proud that myself and a few AGs were responsible for getting that programme on air and for it continuing today. So just a bit about what I did. So I went into RTE, I moved to the Farmers Journal, I moved from the Farmers Journal into the Irish Independent, I did local radio. So I had I suppose I wanted to do those sort of various things, maybe do them together. I wanted to challenge myself, and I did that. Then in 2004, I had been thinking about politics, but wasn't sure where or how this would come about. And sometimes when you're open to possibilities rather than have a fixed mind or you're determined in one direction only, opportunities will come your way. And I think that's what happened when I first stood for election for the European Parliament. I would have been a Fine Gael supporter. The party were looking for a candidate and I stood for election and I was successful. And now in 2020 I'm still a member of the European Parliament. I've moved up the ranks in the Parliament itself through sheer grit and determination, and I'm glad that as an Irish MEP I am the first Vice President, the second in line to President of the Parliament, particularly in these times of economic uncertainty and pandemics. It's important that Ireland has a strong voice in all of those conversations. So I would credit the things I've done to my roots in UCD, to my learnings in the AG faculty, as I still call it. I'm sure it's called something fancier today, and the people I met along the way, the networks that still exist, and those connections are hugely important to me. The other thing I would say to you, that none of us have any certainties. So I was hugely uncertain and anxious and fearful when I went to college. I was younger, I was only 17, so leaving home was a big thing for me, and it took me a while to settle down, even though where I'm from in RD wasn't miles away from Dublin, but you know, it was when you're leaving home for the first time, and you probably will have to deal with those and other challenges along the way. And I think you have to be, I suppose, build an inner resilience and inner strength. Even today in my career, there are things, you know, that would really, you know, cause you to, you know, get almost a shock when people might react in certain ways to things that you do, and you have to find a resilience within yourself to be able to deal with them, and we all need that sort of shield. So a few things. If you're thinking of going to UCD, do, because it was a great place when I was there, and I bet it's even greater now. It's certainly bigger, so it has to be better. The second thing I'd say to you is that enjoy when you're there. Make the most of college. I often look back and think, gosh, I should have really enjoyed it more. Those 4 years seemed to go really quickly, but I did enjoy them, and I enjoyed the chats, the linking with people, lecturers and all that went with it, and I value that to this day. And the other thing is, you know, sometimes people study something or they think, I have to stay in that. But you don't. I mean, I think the things we learn in college allow us to be flexible and adaptable. So it allowed me, as an AG graduate, as I still call myself, to become a reporter, a researcher, a producer, an editor, and a politician. And now in the European Parliament as VP. And I think that that's the great thing about college learning generally, that it's no loss to you. It's always of benefit. So look, I'm a UCD woman through and through. I value everything I did, everything I got from UCD. And I really would love you to get that same experience, particularly when it comes to the connections, the college associations, all of those things that happen. And then you'll kind of look back like me in whatever years it is now and say, gosh, I'm glad I went to UCD. I really enjoyed it. It's a great place and I want to tell more people about it.